Welcome to Everything You Need to Know in 3. I'm Michael Brooks. On Everything You Need to Know, take a topic, sometimes from politics, sometimes from pop culture, break it down for you, give you everything you need to know in 3 minutes, give or take. 3 minutes starts now. Does Israel and its defenders need a safe space? Do they need many safe spaces? Why do I ask this question? Because Israel, which is under international pressure from governments, from civil society, from activists, because of its unending occupation of the West Bank and its siege on Gaza, to end those policies and conform to international law. Because of its lack of accountability and action in those areas, there is a boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. Now, that includes many people who hold many different perspectives. Some people want a two-state solution along 67 borders, the international consensus in terms of what the answer to the Israeli-Palestinian crisis should be. Others want a binational democratic state, something along the lines of a multiracial democracy, as in post-apartheid South Africa. Now, regardless of where you stand on these issues, boycott, divestment, and sanctions is a legitimate tool to use from civil society to apply to governments that aren't susceptible, apparently, to any other form of diplomatic or strategic pressure to correct their behavior. This has nothing to do with threatening the existence of Israel, justifying terrorism, or being opposed to Judaism, obviously. But because the far right in Israel and because in Israeli foreign policy they are losing, they are pushing through their allies in the United States and elsewhere to punish BDS activists and violate their freedom of speech. In New York, just now, Governor Andrew Cuomo just signed a very onerous law banning state business with any company that observes BDS. So my question for everybody who freaks out online about safe spaces and political correctness, where's your outrage now when a foreign government and domestic allies of it are actually implementing policies to clamp down on civic and civil society activism? I thought everybody wanted to fight for the rights of people to say all sorts of racist, atrocious, sexist, and really anything, as long as it involved starting disgusting Reddit or Twitter campaigns. But I don't hear you intervening in an actual serious political issue with real stakes for the international system. I wonder why that is. Meanwhile, BDS will continue, but it is under threat academically and politically. We need to respond to this as a free speech issue and a policy issue, and Israel and its allies must do better. And that's everything you need to know. In 3, I'm Michael Brooks. Hey, now that you've watched this, go to iTunes and subscribe to Two Dope Boys. That's your alarm to do it. Subscribe to Two Dope Boys and a Podcast. It's the number 2 Dope Boys and a Podcast. It's a twice-weekly show that I co-host with my teammate Phil McKenzie and a crew of amazing people that examines trends, pop culture, social media, race, music, brands, politics, you name it. It's an in-depth, entertaining deep dive. Subscribe. We're getting great feedback. Hope to hear you there.